Today's episode, I had 30 minutes to fix this recruiter's desk or they were quitting the industry for good, okay? And here's the kicker. They were a bloody top performer. So normally when people are saying, I want to quit, I'm not feeling good about recruitment or whatever, they're normally a low performer, right? They're normally someone who's not making a lot of money and they just can't see the woods for the trees and whatever. But this was a very different scenario. They were a top biller, making tons of money. So a lot of us in recruitment think, well, that's the holy grail of why we do it. It's a great place to make money. But this person obviously got there and just said, it's not worth it for me. So I had to sit down with this person and work out what's happening in their life, okay? The thing is, right, when people come and say, I'm done, and this wasn't in my office, this was some advisory stuff. When people say, hey, I'm done, I don't want to do this anymore, they've kind of made a decision that it's not working for them for whatever reason. There's maybe a bit of despair. Possibly they just don't love how they feel or whatever. So my first instinct is to just try and work out what's at the core of this, okay? And you're probably thinking, did we save this person? Did we keep them in the recruitment industry? Yes, we did. We did. But here's the thing. My job wasn't to convince them to stay in recruitment. My job was to work out why they didn't want to be here and to see if that was just an ill-aligned sort of thought pattern or something was happening that wasn't quite in alignment with where they wanted to be. Because you and I both know recruitment is a wonderful, I call it sport, wonderful business, wonderful profession. You can have so many luxuries from it. You can have so much flexibility from it, but it also comes with a lot of pain, a lot of torture, torture late nights or hard work or stress or whatever. So when that balance gets out of whack, things start to not feel so good in recruitment. So when I sat down with this individual, I basically just wanted to get to the core of it. I said, oh, what's happening? Tell me, why do you want to quit recruitment? And, some of the things that they were talking about, were more feelings, right? Oh, I'm just not enjoying it. I'm always feeling stressed. It feels a little bit meaningless. And I was like, okay. And then they said, I just feel like I'm just too busy to do anything outside of work. And I was like, I grabbed onto that one. I thought that's more of a core issue here. So I said, well, if you had more time outside of work, what would you do with it? What are you thinking here? It's like, oh, I love surfing, I love playing golf, going on holidays. Okay. When was the last time you went for a surf? 3 months ago? Okay. When was the last time you played a game of golf? Christmas? Okay. When was the last time you went on a holiday? 6 months ago? Okay. So he hasn't done all the things he wants to do. So now I'm thinking, is this actually what he wants to do, or is this just stuff he's saying? And I'm like, is this truly gonna get you excited? He's like, oh, I just don't have time for any of that stuff, and I just feel like I can't leave my desk because of the da-da-da. I said, okay. Have you got a surf planned? No. Have you got any rounds of golf planned? No. Have you got any holidays coming up on the horizon? Have you booked anything? No. Okay. So you're starting to get a picture here. I said to him, do you think you want to quit recruitment so you can do these things and you're going to regret giving up your desk? Or is this truly what you're trying to chase? It just sounds like to me balance is the thing that's missing for you. So I said, well, what does a typical day look like for you? Like, walk me through waking up, getting ready, whatever you do, work, home. How does a Monday look for you? Went through it. Turns out they're working 8 till 7. So doing 11-hour days. I said, would you do that every day? Yeah, Monday to Friday, yeah. And then on Saturdays I do this and probably do some stuff on Sunday. I was like, so you're actually working 7 days a week. You're probably doing 60 plus hours a week of work. They're like, yeah. Why do you work so hard? Well, I'm a top performer. Okay, but why do you work so many hours to be a top performer? It almost didn't compute. It turned out he wore that hardworking badge with honor. It was almost like, look how hard I work, therefore I'm a top performer. I said to him, do you think that this is a bit of a chalice around your neck? Do you think that these hours are potentially what you're not enjoying about recruitment? He's like, absolutely, the hours suck. I'm like, is anyone telling you to do those hours? No? Okay. Maybe you need to take a little bit of control over your desk. In the back of my mind, I'm thinking, this guy's ready to walk out. He's done. He wants to pull the pin. So I can't just say to him, oh, come on, like pep talk, you'll be right, whatever. We need to make some structural changes. I need him to walk away. If we're going to have any hope of saving this fantastic recruiter, and by mark my words, a very good recruiter, good human, whatever, just in a bit of a crossroads in their mind. I think they'd been doing it for so long that they thought, oh, I'm not getting any actual life into my desk. So I was thinking we've got to structurally change something here so that he walks away feeling like, okay, I've got a plan, I've got something I can do, and I've got a challenge. Obviously loved that. So I needed to make, and I couldn't be small tweaks. Like this is the sort of thing where I say we got to go drastic because he's already gone 100%. I'm out, right? So if this is the sort of person that you can go on, an all or nothing strategy. So I said to him, you know what? I don't think you need to work as long as you do in terms of a day in the week and as many hours as you do to achieve what you want to achieve. I actually think you're fucking around at your desk. He looked at me. What do you mean I'm fucking around at my desk? I'm a top performer. Don't care what you say. There is something in your process, there's something in your systems that is not serving you and not working for you because you should not be working those hours to make those sort of billings. He looked at me and I said, I make as much as you do in 25 hours a week. And then his jaw dropped. He was like, what do you mean in 25? How? How do you do it? And I said, okay. We broke it down. I said, where do you spend all your time? What are you doing on? There was a lot of activities that he could automate. There was a lot of, I'm not even going to go into the actual metrics of how. What the framework was I gave him was, look, I want you to work out how you can work 5 hours a day. And it might take a while to get there, but before you quit recruitment, why not make recruitment work for you? So rather than feeling like you are a slave to recruitment, let's make recruitment a slave to you. Because what was happening, he didn't hate recruitment. He hated how much recruiting he had to do over and above to get to where he wanted to be. The accolades, the commissions, the money he's making, he didn't want to give that up. He's got 20 years experience in recruitment. The skills he's acquired over that time is second to none. And to go and try another job somewhere else, going to have to start from scratch. He'll never make that money he was making in recruitment. Like he could, but not quickly. And he didn't really want to give that up. So I think you started to make him turn at this point. I could see him going, okay, I'm like seriously, stop thinking about the time you're burning. How do we work out a way to get your day down from 11 hours a day to 5? Okay. And then you could see his brain starting to light up. And I said, that is your challenge. Don't quit until you've given that a crack, because I know that if you could earn all the money you're making at the moment, you now have time to surf every single day and play golf every single week and go on holidays every single quarter. Based on what you've told me, this is going to change your life and this is going to actually change your perspective, because when things at home and outside of work are going well, you feel like your cup is full, you're energized, you're seeing the sun, you're doing things that light you up. Guess what? Work gets a little bit easier too. Work gets a little bit more enjoyable. And I bet you, when you put a cap on your time, you'll find efficiencies you didn't realize you had. I think you're allowing yourself to have too much time to get stuff done. You're allowing yourself to work weekends because you know that you've got 2 days there that you could use. You're a workaholic, okay? And that's not good. It's not serving you. It's diminishing returns, that extra time. If you can get this thing down to 5 hours a day, let's see what happens. Fast forward 6 months. This guy has blitzed it. He's down to 5 hours a day, making the same amount of money. His happiness is through the roof because he's like, I'm earning what I earn. I'm still doing what I'm good at, but I'm not burning myself at both ends of the candle week in, week out to make that happen. He's done it through automations. He's done it through efficiencies. He's done it through systems. When you get into bad habits, you just do it the way he did it, particularly these 20-year recruiters. And if you're listening to this and you're a 20-year recruiter, are you doing things you did 20 years ago still? Because I bet you when you start looking at your desk for efficiencies, you'll go, oh, I could be doing that a better way. There's always a better way, okay? Point of this story is I had 30 minutes to fix this guy's life and desk before he quit the industry, because he had already said, I'm quitting, but I'll give you 30 minutes. I really want to hear what you have to say and just see if I'm missing something. Turns out he was missing something massive, right? The work-life balance was out of whack completely. We addressed that, but I didn't just give him motivation. I gave him a task. I gave him a very simple task, was claw your life back. Our goal now is our life is not to serve recruitment. Recruitment is to serve our life. And once we got that bit right, the guy's been on 2 trips in 6 months. He's surfing a couple of times a week. He's going playing golf every weekend instead of working. And he's so happy. He's so much happier. It was that simple. So didn't hate recruitment. He hated how much recruiting he was doing. And if you're in the same boat, have a look at your time. How much time are you spending at work? More is not always more. Sometimes doing less means you do more with the time you got. That's it. Like, share, subscribe, helps us grow. ICSA Conference coming up in May, only a couple of weeks left. I don't even know how many tickets are left, but if you haven't got your ticket, I would get it. In Sydney, I think it's May 11. If it's May 11, I could be wrong. If it's wrong, put something up on my screen. I'll say, no, Brett was completely wrong. It was this date. But it's coming up in a few weeks' time, and get your ticket because they're almost sold out. I'm going to be there. I want to meet you. I want to say hi. I'm really looking forward to it. As always, have an amazing day, and may all your deals come true.